told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.
Past. Jungkook POV. I rushes back towards a room where the voice came from and get there and find her. I see my Munchin. Her condition is horrifying and unrecognizable. If I'm little late, then I can't even imagine what would happen to my Munchin. I will lose her. I hate myself as a brother. Now, why can't I even protect my family? Why I'm so fucking weak. Why I'm so late. I'm sorry, my Munchin, I'm sorry. I fail as a brother. Please, my Munchin, forgive your brother, saying that I cover her up with my oversized coat and lift her up in my arms as a painful tear left from my eyes, and then I feel like someone shooking me and saying my name, Jungkook. Jungkook. Hearing that I come back to my senses. Flashback ended. Present time. Jungkook's mansion. YN's POV. I'm shook him to let me go from his grip, but I suddenly stop when I see water droplets drip on my hand, and I look up to see Jungkook is crying. I become shocked and frowned at the same time that why the Jungkook the Mafia king is crying, and with full force and shook him and call his name several times, so he come back to his senses, but for so much struggle finally, he come back to his senses and look at me with same cold emotionless face and said, "You want to know right why I suddenly said I hate you right when I always says that I love you or obsessed with you? Let me show you," saying that he abruptly stands up from bed and I can't balance myself as I'm sitting on his lap, but he holds me and stops me from falling and harshly holds my hand and dragging me towards a study room, and I'm continuously struggling to let go from his hand and shout at him saying, Jungkook, leave me. Where are you taking me? I don't want to go with you anywhere, just leave my hand, it's hurting. But his grip becomes more tight, and he halts his pace and turns to face me by put his finger on my lips while holding my waist in his tight grip and said, "Shush. Stop asking question, you are not in a position to question me, baby doll. Not a word unless I will forget all manners and make you pay by giving you a harsh punishment for the deeds you have done in past. So I suggest you stay silent and follow me quietly," saying that he turns around and drags me towards a study room. This part of his mansion I never saw before, and he harshly pushed the gate open with a thud and rushed in, still holding my hand tightly in his grip, and he opened a secret passage and walked in with me. The corridor was so dark, but when we stepped in, the whole corridor lit up and it looked like a secret hospital, and we came into a room where a young girl is lying. She is about 20 years old, and her eyes were closed. So many tubes are supporting her body. Her condition is not, she looks so pale, but still she looks so cute and beautiful. Jungkook's POV. I dragged her in the room and left her hand harshly in anger and said, while pointing my finger towards the girl who is lying on a hospital bed, and said, "This is proof of your mom's family's deed. See her condition, she is in coma because of your so-called brother and his friends who raped her not just one time but multiple times with his 4 friends. Jungkook shouted loudly and said, "They not just rape her but ruined her totally, and then they brutally bruised her face and beat her till she faint, and they left her there without mercy," saying that he walked forward to YN, and YN stepped back. She is crying after listening all this, and in fear she backing, not looking at him by continuously shaking her head. Suddenly her back touches the wall, and in fear she looks at him and said in shuddered voice, "I am sorry, I don't know about it, but I'm still, my answer will be the same. I really don't know anything what you're talking about. I don't have a brat." She can't even say the whole word fully as Jungkook comes towards her face to face and pin her hand on the wall with one hand, and with other hand, he tightly squeezed her waist in his grip as she gasped in pain. Her tears are flowing down her cheeks. Continuously, she is wiggling around in his grip, but Jungkook doesn't budge a little. His grip on her waist become more tight. While gritting his teeth in anger, he shouted, "Do you what a person become when he lost everything? He became ruthless, cruel, psycho. That is what I'm become. And do you know who made me like that? It is you and your so-called family. Because of your mom and your brother, I lost my whole family in that horrifying, brutal murder," saying that he more tightly held her waist in his deadly grip. YN whimper in pain and try to say something, but no words come out from her mouth. She is crying mess. Jungkook, leaning more into her, still gritting his teeth in anger, and said, "They also raped my mom. They killed my dad brutally. They killed my grandparents and made my one and only sister mentally ill. And then she get into coma. Tell me, why should I leave you? Why don't I hate you? I won't leave you till I kill your so-called mother," saying that he shouted on her face loudly. I already take my revenge from your brother. I brutally torture him, then I cut his body in little pieces, and then I threw them in front of my hungry dogs. At least after his death, his body parts has some use, unless his life. And him is just a motherfucker shitty bastard who raped a 15-year-old girl mercilessly. And the same process I did with those friend of your brother and your mom's men, but your viscous mom run away from my trap. But then I mistakenly find you when I going to kidnap someone else. And after some months later, I got some hidden information about you and your family, that you're my enemy's daughter. Oh, sorry, stepdaughter, right? And stepdad is, I'm right, Miss Lee Wyan, saying that while gritting his teeth in anger. You know, if I found out about it before, then you also be dead, just like your so-called brother. He again said while putting his hand on his chest. But that damn heart of mine can't stop thinking about you when I first saw you. It can't stop beating for you whenever he sees you and whenever he thinks about you. It beats like crazy. In all this shit, it still loved you. He is deathly obsessed with you. He wants you all the time. It can't forget about you, saying that he lost his grip around her waist and back off from her while holding his head in his hand, slapping his face again and again, and in anger he shouted, I should have hated you, Lee Wyan, but I can't. I just fucking can't, saying that he smashes things here and there and punched the wall in anger and said while looking at her like a psycho, I'm just so obsessed with you that I can't even imagine staying away from you for just a minute. Tell me, you, saying that he walked towards her, but Wyan back off from him. She is trembling in fear while looking at him and thinking ways to go away from him, but her body is not listening to her. Her feet freezes in shock and fear. In him, she's seeing a total skyo who can do anything to torture her and do anything to be with her at the same time. Wyan, in broken voice, said, Please, don't come. Ciel, closer to me, go away. Go away. Don't K, no W. What are you talking about? But I don't do anything WR wrong. Please believe me, Jungkook. You are lying, I won't believe you. My mom can't do this all to your family, and I don't have any brother. Jungkook to listen her and come closer to her and grab her hand tightly in his and forcefully turn her around that bed where that girl is lying and said, Look at her, see, can't you see how badly your brother and your so-called murderer mom ruined my baby sister, my munchin. Look at her, don't you dare to move you eyes away from. Do you know how it feels to see your one and only sister lying down there under those merciless animals who brutally torture her and raped her, and after got what they want, they just left her like she is not even a human being? Look at her, don't you dare close your eyes. He shouts at her while holding her from back and forcefully make her look at his sister, who is lying there without any motion. Do you know how hard it is for me to make her a little stable? I have to inject sleeping drugs in her to make her calm down, to stop her panic state, and to calm down her trauma. She can't even sleep at night. She has nightmares and she screams out loud in her sleep. She doesn't even let me touch her. She thinks I'm the rapist who is going to do the same thing to her again and again. Do you know how hard it is for me to hold her and make her feel safe? He shouts again, still holding Wyan from her back, and forced her to look at her. Wyan, crying mess, looking at the girl. Her condition is not good. Her hole had those cut marks all over hands. Her legs have bruises that are almost healed. Her condition is little good now, as she is little healed, but she is still in coma. Jungkook, aggressively gritting his teeth, said, Her wounds are going to heal in some years, but what about those wounds which she has on her heart? Who's going to heal that? Tell me, Lee Wyan. He growled on her, tightly squeezing her cheeks in his big veiny hand, and said her full name in anger. This time, he won't say baby girl and all. And that makes Wyan more scared that she already is, because Jungkook always called her baby doll or baby girl. He never say her full, and always talks her with little soft tone, but now his tone is harsh. His emotions are more evident in his tone, that how badly he want to show her what happens to her sister because of his so-called brother. Jungkook, in an angry tone, said, Think about it, Wyan. If I had to take my revenge for you, I will do the same to you. But I never do that because I'm like your brother, Lee Young. I will take my revenge for you, but not that way, baby girl. I will take my revenge by marrying you, and then make you fall for me, and make you mine in every way possible, and for forever. Then I will make your life hell little by torture you with my revengeful obsessive love that will make you suffocate, but you can't do anything about it. I will make you depend on me in that way that you can't even breath properly without me, my baby doll, saying that he inject her something on her neck. Wyan's POV. I'm standing here in his possessive grip, silently sobbing and hearing his hurtful words, and when he said that name, Lee Young, I got shocked. After hearing that particular name, my whole body trembled in fear. I wanted to say something, but nothing came out of my mouth. In my mind, I'm saying, I know him. I know him. He is the one who came to our house when I was only 16 years old, and my mom welcomed him like his own son. Is he really his own son? Then why does mom lie to me? And why doesn't he live with us? What is going on? I don't know who is a liar here, mom or Jungkook. And I still remember that day when he came to our house, the look in his eyes when he looked at me with those lustful eyes, and that evening when I was in the kitchen, he was trying to get close to me. Is he really my brother? If he is my brother, then where are he in those years? Why he never come our house and live with us? I'm in my thoughts when I feel sudden pain in my neck as Jungkook injects something in my neck. I look towards and say, what did yo? I can't say the whole sentence as I feel dizzy, and in another second everything went black and I pass out. When I wake up, I found myself in a pitch black dark room. As I try to move my hand and get up, I found myself tied up with chains as I listen the sound of chains rustling each other whenever I try to move around, and that makes me frack out, and I screamed my lungs out saying, is someone there? Please release me. Why you tied me like this with chains? Is I'm an animal or something? Jungkook, you can't leave me here, all tied up. Let me out from here. You know I hate dark. Please let me out, Jungkook. Please let me out, please. Saying, I started to cry loudly. Suddenly the lights in the room all lit up and I shocked and looked here and there and found Jungkook sitting on the couch near the bed and staring at me intensely, yet creepily, while tilted his head a little. YN. In a trembling, fearful voice while looking at him, I said, U-A-R-H, here all this time, right? Why you tied me? Jungkook not saying anything, just staring at me darkly, and gets up from the couch and leans towards me by saying, you know, like you here in my bed, all tied up, vulnerable, helpless, and at my mercy, my baby doll, saying that he smirked devilishly at me and forcefully attacked his lips on mine and kissed me without letting me breathe and bit it harshly and make it bleed. Then he released my lips, still staring at my lips, hungrily licking his lips with his tongue seductively while saying, fuck, I love it. You are such a sweet baby doll. Damn, your lips taste like strawberries. Saying that he started rubbing my lips with his thumb and again attached his lips on mine. This time I started struggling to get away from him, but those chains are not helping me. I try wiggling, but Jungkook's hand stopped my movement as he tightly grabs the back of my head and kisses me passionately yet deeply. My tears continuously flowing down to my cheeks, wetting my cheeks, but Jungkook ignores all my crying. The kiss lasts long, till 20 minutes, and then he releases me from his deadly kiss, as I both grasping for air, still breathing heavily and still leaning against me, and I'm backing off from him, but he hold me, keeping me to Sadie still and sod. Stay still, baby doll. I want to eat my strawberries properly, let me eat it. And now they become my favorite dish, and I want to eat them all the time, and you can't say no to me, baby doll. Obey your daddy unless you know what I'm capable of, right, baby doll? Jungkook, so now when you have to follow my orders. 1, you have to stay in chains till I find your so-called murder mafia mom. 2, second, you are only allowed to off chains when you have to go to the bathroom or toilet. 3, you can't wander around freely now. 4, you don't talk with anyone except me. You get that, baby doll? Saying that he caresses my cheeks slightly and said, and that's you have to do from now on. You have to obey all my orders without making any mistake, because now you are no longer a guest here, you are my prisoner. Now, my darling sweetheart, he say that, mocking at me with a devilish smirk pasted on his lips, saying that he walks away, leaving me there silently sobbing and begging him to release me from those chains. Jungkook, humming a song in his dark, creepy voice. Baby, I'm praying you tonight, hunt you down, eat you alive, just like animals. Animals, animals. Baby, you think you can hide, but I can smell scent from miles, just like animals, animals. Animals do? Baby, I, humming that song, he laughed loudly like a psycho, and looked at me with a wide, devilish smirk plaster on his lips. He blows a kiss towards me, winking his one eye, and went away, leaving me in this dark room. YN. I'm screaming his name, saying, please don't leave me here, you know, I'm afraid of darkness. Please don't do this to me. I swear to God, I won't involve in your family's murder. Please believe me for once. Jungkook, don't leave me alone here. Jungkook, After listening, her words come towards her and said, "Don't scream so loudly, baby doll, your throat will hurt, and your new tattoo will again become swollen that I give you also will hurt you, baby doll, and don't like to see you hurt, so keep quiet. This is your punishment, baby doll, for being the daughter of my enemy," saying that a smirk come on his face as he pat her cheeks lightly and said, "Goodbye, baby doll, see you in the morning, till then take some rest."
I know you told your friends